we go. Yeah. Waiting for you. Just waiting.
Just
Feel
waiting.
free feel free to drop a Madonna pun whenever you'd like.
Perfect. Okay.
I do that all the time. So um in fact, our audience expects it. You know,
Okay.
if we're what how you can't be a Madonna podcast if you're not dropping a Madonna pun,
You need a
right?
pun once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yay.
You know, to like Madonna says, it has to be that way, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's kick off. You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna Louise Veronica Ciccone. I am your unofficial celebration tour correspondent, Stefan. Today on the show, we have Zach, who is the creator of A Functioning Gay on Instagram. He is also the host of Pop Theory, the podcast, and he was the lucky person to be in attendance at last night's celebration tour in Detroit. Welcome to the show, Zach.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, what a show it was.
Let's dive right in. I want
Can
to
we
hear.
please?
So you hadn't seen the show, the tour in person before last night, correct?
Correct. Correct. This is my first and probably my only in-person show.
Gotcha.
I tried really hard. I had been debating on whether or not I wanted to like spoil it myself with any spoilers
Sure.
when the tour started. And I think just with the last 3 years of pandemic type of life, I was like I'm diving right in. So I was like up late at
Yeah.
night. I forget where it started, but I was like I knew the entire set list. I knew everything.
Yeah.
But it's still like seeing it online through people's live streams and recordings. It's not the same. It is not the same.
Right? That's what I've been telling everybody because Liberty, one of my co-hosts, she's like, "Oh, I feel like I don't even want to see it because I know everything about it already." I'm like, "It's a different beast when you see it in person." I don't know why or how it's possible, but literally you can see it the entire show online.
Right.
And yet when you're there, it's like you've not seen the show. I don't know why.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, especially with this particular staging, I was so impressed with the stage is so unique. I mean, it's
Mhm.
truly in the arena, like it utilized almost every inch that it possibly could.
Yeah.
There were moments where my friend and I were sitting, we had a perfect view of the stage. In fact, I was thinking to myself earlier today, I was like, I feel like we had probably better seats than some people probably on the floor because we could see
Yeah.
all these different elements to the stage
Mhm.
and the screens to the main stage where it kind of comes up in tears to the stage where it lifts up for bedtime stories with the video screens on the. I mean, it was truly just an incredible. I was blown away,
Yeah.
blown
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Um, so talk about Detroit, the crowd. Was it pumped? Were people excited? Like even before the show began?
Yeah, so I have to say, so I was really fortunate enough this is actually a really exciting part of the night where, are you familiar with Heather Matazzaro?
Yes. Oh yeah. We had her. Sorry, we didn't have Heather. We had Heather's wife on the show.
Heather Thurman, yes.
Yes.
So I had the pleasure of meeting both of them at the concert last night.
I saw that you met them, and
And
I messaged Heather Thurman. I was like, "Oh, we're having Zach on the show tonight."
yeah, such sweet people. It was an absolute blast getting to know them and meeting. And Heather Thurman, wow, what an encyclopedia of Madonna knowledge!
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've met anyone else that loves Madonna as much as me. And I think that she has me beat. Like it was
Oh,
truly
buddy.
remarkable. Um, but yeah, so we were excited. I have to say the section that we were in felt kind of, I mean, it was definitely filled with a lot of diehard Madonna fans, but also a lot of casual fans. I think a lot
Sure.
of people who probably haven't followed Madonna for a few years. Michigan is an interesting beast, and I have to say, I made the joke last night. I was like, "Oh, Michigan came out tonight. Michigan definitely came out tonight. Like rural Michigan is here." But so our section was definitely mixed for sure. There were some people right in front of us who were I mean, everyone was having a blast. But I was saying to my friend Andrew, I was like, I kind of wish that we were seeing her in New York just because
Mhm.
the New York scene is just so different. But
It's well,
uh
I mean, I saw her when she was at Barclays one of the nights, and
yeah.
it was like I noticed a stark contrast from when I saw her in Paris to Like Paris, not that they were subdued, but it just seemed like maybe it was just that Brooklyn was so much crazier, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like people just can you swear on this podcast?
Of course.
Oh my god. Okay, so people give no fucks, in New York,
Yeah.
whereas in
I
Detroit,
well, look, actually, Zach, I'm sure. I think we can curse. I don't know if that like angers YouTube. Like
oh, sure.
hopefully YouTube isn't going to be like strikes against that channel.
Right,
But I
exactly.
mean, we curse all the time, so it's a
Okay,
Madonna. It's a Madonna podcast. I feel
it's
like
Madonna.
if you're not throwing a couple fucks around, then seriously, we're,
Just
we're
kind
doing we're doing her a disservice.
truly, this is I just want to recreate her David Letterman interview right now. See if we can just get kicked off air. But no, I mean, the show, I still am still processing it, to be completely honest. It
Yep.
was such a treat. Like I seeing I mean, this being kind of her first greatest hits tour, I kind of feel like the reinvention tour was marketed as as a greatest hits tour, but that was also supporting American life. This is truly
Yes.
her first tour without new material that she
Well,
was
and
supporting.
the thing that we noticed about this versus reinvention is in reinvention, although she did stack that show with a bunch of hits,
Yeah,
those were reinventions of those original songs.
right.
Whereas for the most part, all of the songs that she's doing in this tour
Mhm.
are straight, almost like verbatim to what the original version was.
Yeah.
Like they're not like revamped in like strange ways. They're
Mhm.
pretty faithful versions of the
Yeah.
songs. So
Yeah. Yeah. I see, and that's what the yes, there were a lot of the songs very faithful to the originals, but I also love that there were a lot of songs that did, get remixed or reinvented or had like pulled elements from other. I mean, I think obviously everyone's been loving Nothing Really Matters, like
totally.
being at the show opener, being a fan favorite. The mix that Stuart Price created that utilized new elements, but also the album version, but then also the Peter Rauhofer remix, like absolutely
Oh, it sounds so
insane.
good. It sounds
It
so good.
and
It's so
so
good.
epic. The way that the synths start right after Bob is like coming down the stage and then she's coming up. Like it was I actually started crying. I don't really cry at shows. And I like had tears in my
That's
eyes because
sweet.
it was so just such a moment for me and I was so excited. But then also I had completely forgotten that she performed Justify My Love. So so
Mm-hmm.
that was a surprise for me last
Oh,
night.
well, I mean, talk about a fantastic mix. Like,
Fantastic mix. The
so good.
choreography was so good too.
It's like when I saw it in DC, I was in the pit. That was the first time I was that close to it, and I was just I mean, I was trying to record it
Yeah.
for the podcast, and I was just like, lock your arms, just watch it. Don't videotape it because I just wanted to see it up close in person. I just love
Mhm.
the writhing bodies, and yeah, it's so
It
good.
was beautiful, and the costuming, because everyone had, like, their flesh toned, under or, like, garments on.
Very similar to what you're wearing tonight.
Very similar, hey, just a little nod and a wink, but, yeah, I was just she I don't want to, I've been getting really frustrated with the way people have been commenting on her appearance lately, but I have to say she looked amazing. And I say that meaning she looked healthy. She looked
Mm-hmm.
strong. Her legs were legging last night. I noticed that the knee brace wasn't on as much.
Yep.
And she was moving around that stage. People knock her for her age all the time. We forget that she's 65 now, right? She will be
Mm-hmm.
66 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I, she's running around that stage for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Killing it, like
Yeah.
singing, dancing, and I mean, being dragged across the stage in a chair. She's being carried. She's doing all the things, doing the absolute most, and she's 65 years old,
Right.
crushing it. I was just
Well, so let me ask you a quick question. So you are not 65.
correct.
Were you tired today after seeing the show?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I mean, the show started at 10:30. I know that there's been a lot of chatter about her quote unquote starting late. I don't know what the official start time is supposed to be on the ticket. I don't My friend had the ticket, so I don't know. But I know that she's notorious for starting her shows at a later time. And so I had seen through chats and things like that that the start time was probably going to be around 10:30. So I was like anticipating it. Sure enough, 10:30 and she started. So
Right.
I was not disappointed at all. But that said, we the show start or ended right around 1 a.m.
Uh-huh.
Didn't get home. I was staying at my sister's. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I was visiting Detroit for the night for the show and stayed at my sister's, who lives over that way. And so I got to her place at 2 a.m. I have not been up that late in a while. So I don't know how she does it. I mean, truly a
Yeah.
warrior on
Right. And
stage.
imagine like there are nights she has to do back to back, where it's like
Right.
she's doing that and then does it again the next night. And I'm like, because I did that in Paris, I saw one night, I was
Yep.
shattered the next day, absolutely shattered. I had to literally, I just laid in bed in the hotel for like half the day just
Yeah.
so I could gear up the energy to go
Yep.
see her again the next night. I'm
Right.
like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how she does it either. It must,
Well,
good vitamins, I hope.
I hope so. I mean, we know that she's notorious for fitness and whatnot. So I mean, she works really hard to stay in shape.
Yeah.
I also last night I wore a corset, so I couldn't sit down really, and so I was standing for probably a solid 4 or 5 hours straight
That'll
last
do
night,
it.
and
That'll
so
do it.
and also I was wearing heels, so I was like my
No.
legs were exhausted. So yeah, to answer your question, very tired today, but
Mhm.
completely worth it. I'm just truly still in awe of the show. Like it was just all of what I was really impressed with the way that the set list was kind of created and all the little nods and winks to different remixes and songs, like the way that In This Life plays right before Live to
Yeah.
Tell.
Yeah.
That I was really emotional during that performance, by the way. That
Hmm.
seeing all of her friends who had died of AIDS, that was so powerful. And I had heard about it online, seen clips, but like seeing it in person,
Yeah.
beautifully done. So
Hmm.
beautifully done. And I love the storyline that she tells too.
Yeah. It's great.
It makes me wonder if this is like a precursor to the film. I don't do we know where that's landed?
No, we theorize on this show a lot about the fact that, even though Universal or Paramount, whichever it was that was supposed to do it, they have it in turnaround, which usually means that film's dead. There's no
Sure.
resuscitating it.
Okay.
I have a feeling she's doing the tour, and then after the tour she'll do the biopic and maybe she'll self-finance it, who knows. But
Yeah.
yeah, I even if she didn't and this was it,
Mhm.
I think her storytelling is beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I was just blown away with how she's had it all set up, and to have that task of displaying your 40-year career in a 2-hour show,
Right.
make all your fans happy. Because you, of course, you've got all of the casual fans that are there that want to see Vogue. They want to see, you know, Holiday. They want to see, Material Girl, which they didn't get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Oops, sorry.
oops, sorry. But then you have people like us who want to hear the deep cuts. I mean, we got Mother and Father. We got the fact that Up Down Sweet, like a little bit of that was played at the intro of
I
Vogue.
love it.
And one thing that I did not hear, and I was really, again, I love all of these, and maybe this is just the former DJ in me, but like hearing all the little sound pieces and whatnot, hearing the uh David Morales remix of Deeper and Deeper in the back, slightly in the background of that.
Mm.
I heard the deep, 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 deep. Like that was so cool to me because I'm like, it's these tiny little details that are giving the fans, diehard fans like you and I, the absolute most.
Yeah.
And I was living.
Right,
It was
because
so
obviously
good.
she can't do, 50 songs,
Right.
but
Yeah.
as much as we want her to, I mean, there was, we'd be fine with like a half day show, like,
Exactly.
but imagine how long that would go for. Like she
Insane.
wouldn't come on till 10:30 at night and we'd be like getting out at like, it'd be like when you would go to a nightclub and that you'd be leaving the nightclub on Sunday morning and it was daylight, like
Right.
you're passing people on their way to church and
Right.
well, we've just come from church, so
No, literally. Seriously. Like, yeah, I was just blown away. The fact that we even got a little snippet of causing a commotion, like
hmm
that
hmm
was so cool. And I was she doing that at the start of the tour?
No, I think she did it once and then it didn't pop up. And I think now it's more frequent. Like I
Okay.
think now she's doing it and she's still singing Express Yourself, right? That she still did that.
So she replaced I Will Survive with Express Yourself, and we also got Frozen instead of Rain.
Yes, that
What
those okay, those changes I knew that she had done. I wasn't sure. So talk to me a little bit about how she was. I saw the speech that she gave after Don't Tell
Mhm.
Me, where she before Express Yourself, where she talked about her dad,
Mhm.
and she got very emotional
Yeah, she
talking
was
to the
very
Detroit audience.
yeah, she was very emotional, and she said I want to say it was earlier in the show that she was said, that her adrenaline level was like really high, like coming home was really is always really stressful for her, and I believe it. I mean, it's interesting because Michigan, a lot of people to me love to be like, "Oh, she hates Michigan, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, I don't know if it's that she hates Michigan. It's just that she's such an artist, and I was like, as someone who's also very expressive and creative, I was like, most people in Michigan just don't get it. So I
Hmm.
I completely understand her desire for wanting to explore new avenues and get out of Michigan and, figure out her way.
Yeah,
So it's not that she hated Michigan necessarily. It's just that people here don't necessarily get it. And so, you know, coming back, I'm assuming that, a lot of people would probably think, oh, she's eating her words or whatever. But it's like, well, yeah, like, she knows that she left Michigan. She
right.
knows that she's made a huge name for herself. And now that she's older and, gone through health scares and things like that, I mean, she has a lot. I don't think she has anything to prove, but I think that people are always looking for her to fail or
Yeah.
at something. So I would imagine just being any human being coming home and doing your homecoming show would be really, really hard. But she absolutely crushed it.
Or I think also kind of be sort of exhilarating, to be able to
Yeah.
continually come back and be like, "Hey, see,
Well,
look what I did."
let me tell you what. I mean, Mama was, she looks healthy, strong. She sounds great. She looks great. She was dancing her ass off.
Hmm.
And celebrating again a 40-year career. I mean, she's the queen of pop. She's a global icon.
Yeah.
And, seeing I was like looking around the crowd, and again, you're seeing truly a very diverse crowd too. I mean, you're seeing I saw people who were probably her dad's age there, and then all
Wow.
people who are way younger than me. So I mean, I was seeing everyone there. But like you look around and you're like, yeah, there's probably a lot of people here who are roughly around her age and, you know, aren't doing as well. We'll just say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I was exhilarated for her. Like it was just truly magical to watch.
What were your like top three moments from the show? Like, did you have like just
Ooh.
these like standout moments where like maybe you thought you went walking into the show, maybe you thought, oh, I'm gonna love this, this, and this, but then there were other moments where you're just like, oh my God, this was amazing.
Yeah. I would say overall the show, the audio, it was so hearing it on social media does not I mean it does not compare. Like
Yeah.
you can't it's not even comparable. The audio was so good. I mean, like it was like vibrating through my body. And so I just throughout the entire show, but specifically, I remember Like a Prayer, the remix that
Mm-hmm.
they did, uh, truly just really hitting. That was really incredible. And that was such a moment. The staging, the dance, the choreography, that was really special. That really sticks out in my head. I loved the entire Vogue sequence. Again, like I mentioned earlier, utilizing Up Down Sweet and the remix of Deeper and Deeper, and the Break My Soul remix.
Yeah, yeah,
That was just really really cool. I wasn't sure who this surprise guest was. I think
yeah.
she's a drag queen.
Yeah, I
Um,
wasn't sure who it was either.
yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like looking and I didn't like I kept trying to like hear, but I was also so stimulated. I was just like so like everything that's going on. I was just like, ah.
It's almost a
Um
little too much. Like
at
it's
times, yeah.
such a sensory assault that
Yeah.
you almost like you can't take it all in all at the same time. It's just impossible to like
Yeah.
there's just regardless of where you're watching the show from, it's just like there's just so much just coming at you.
Yeah. Another remarkable highlight. I mean, the 1, 2, 3 punch of Bedtime Story, Ray of Light, and Frozen was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Like that was the way that they used And that was another thing too, is that in watching it online, I saw the Bedtime Story performance, heard that they used a little bit of the Junior Vasquez remix at the end to kind of transition into Ray of Light, the Sasha remix. But one thing at the beginning of Bedtime Story that I loved is that they were using little bits and pieces of the Orbital remix. And
Mm.
it was so subtle, but I like heard like all the stuttery effects, and I was like, oh my god! Like, I was just like, it's all these little things again. And I'm a big remix fan, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm just like oozing in my seat right there. And then, but then Frozen, when she did Frozen, when I heard that she had done it the other night, I was like, oh my God, I hope that we get Frozen. Because I wasn't sure if she's like alternating or what
Yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah.
doing. And Frozen's the song that made me a Madonna fan back in 1998. And so to see her perform it again, because the last time I saw her was in 2008 on the Sticky and Sweet tour,
Oh,
which
okay. So you didn't get to do Madam X or Rebel Heart or
no,
okay.
yeah. So
MDNA. So there was you've missed a couple shows.
I missed a couple shows, yeah. And so to see her do Frozen, I was lucky enough to see Reinvention. So that was the last time that I had seen her perform Frozen live.
Hmm.
But to see her do it and, utilizing both the Sick Kick remix and the album version was really, really cool. And I was just so happy that we got to see that because I was really hoping. I mean, I love Rain too. So, I mean, I would have been happy with either. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm I'm glad that I mean, I'm glad that she switched it up because it's kind of fun that she's switching it up. But I know that
Yeah.
there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh, I can't wait to see Rain," and now she's not doing Rain anymore. It's like,
Right. It makes me wonder how, I mean, if there's any other changes that she's going to do. There are so many things that she could do, so many songs she could pull out that she hasn't done. I mean, I'm sure that Express Yourself would probably change again at some point to something else, whether that's Who's That Girl or, I mean, I don't know. What's one song I don't know if she'll ever perform it, but one song every tour I'm always like crossing my fingers. I want her to perform Skin so bad.
oh, well, that's a podcast favorite. Everyone on this show has a very specific desire for Skin.
We love Skin.
I was not a fan of Skin.
Oh, really?
That was my one skip on Ray of Light, and I got such an audience feedback of how could you not like Skin.
Yeah.
I now have a soft spot for Skin because I've
Yeah.
listened to it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
um yeah, I'd be curious to see like what she would do if she was to swap out like another song, like
Right.
if she was to take Express Yourself out, what would her acoustic number be? If she was to take Frozen out, what would she do? Like I'm curious to know
Yeah.
what she would switch if she would switch something.
Right. And I've seen rumors online. I don't know if these have been confirmed or not, but allegedly there was a section that contained music, Candy Shop, backed that up to the beat.
Well, I mean, I'm so upset Candy Shop didn't make it onto the set list because I was really hoping it was going to after like
Yeah.
not being on Madam X because it would not have worked in Madam X because that was a very big statement piece. But
Right.
since we're doing greatest hits and she loves Candy Shop, I was kind of shocked she didn't put Candy Shop
Right.
on the set list. Because I think
Yeah.
are we missing? I don't think there's anything from Hard Candy at all. Like
No.
I don't think we've
Y-
got anything from Hard Candy, which is kind of strange. So
Right. Yeah. We see it in video clips on the screens. I'm trying to think. I don't think that there's any audio representation of
not even like little
Hard
clips or
Candy.
like little snippets or anything. Like
Right, which is not only does she love Candy Shop, but she also loves Give It To Me. So I was
yeah.
really shocked that we didn't at least hear that, synth that she always utilizes.
Like at the end in the closer or something. Like
Right. Yeah. Which also, by the way, like the ending was so good. I remember when the tour first started, people were online were kind of saying that it felt rushed, but I
mm,
felt seeing the show, I thought the pacing was really good throughout the
hmm.
show. Um, and I was really impressed with the way it ended. It did feel like an explosion truly like it's the all-encompassing celebration, right? We're
Yeah,
ending with a bang. So ending it with Bitch I'm Madonna and Celebration with a little bit of music thrown in there, just a little
just
tiny
a
little
little bit.
bit. That I mean that outfit so good.
I
I
love
was
it.
so good. And um yeah, I was just like I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, of course, like I would love other songs and whatnot, but like I didn't walk away from the show feeling
Mm.
like I missed something.
Mm. Good, good call. I like that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously people were, praying she was going to do Rescue Me or like there were things I think people walked into that show expecting to hear and they'd, or like there's little teases, like the
Mhm.
violins for Papa Don't Preach
Right.
or
Yeah.
the little snippet at the end of the Michael Jackson tribute where you hear her sing Angel from,
Angel.
like there's like moments where you're like, oh, Madonna, if you're going to whip out an old song that you haven't done, like, can you do a little bit of Angel? Like Angel mashed up with Rescue Me, the house would fall, like
Truly.
it would just explode.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually thinking when watching this too, because again, I love to conceptualize set lists. That would be such a
Sure.
dream for me to like put that together for someone. And I was thinking, I was like, I wonder why she's never done a medley of Causing a Commotion and Into the Groove, like the way that Causing a Commotion in the bridge, like get into the groove. Like I'm sure there's a way you could cross that into the groove. I feel like that could be such a cool moment.
I'm sure Seward Price could have found a way.
Yeah, 100%. So, hey, Stuart, give me a call. I can give you some notes. But yeah, I mean, truly the set list was perfect. And imagine having the task of like not only creating the set list, but then also like putting together all of the montages that they did,
I
especially during
know.
I Don't Search, I Find. I was
Oh,
like,
it's such a great montage.
oh my gosh, because you're getting different like footage on every screen. So it's
Yes.
like talk about an overstimulating, like, oh my gosh, there's so much to take in. Everywhere you look, there's like different news pieces, music videos, people talking about her. Like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't fully appreciate it. I think even the first two times I saw it, like it wasn't until like I was watching it a third time I was like, "Oh, that's where that's part."
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a little
Oh my.
too much. Well, so I'm glad you got to go and I'm glad you loved it because you have a very fantastic Instagram account called A Functioning Gay. And that's how you came onto my radar because so many people share your memes that you create. Everyone listening, if you are not following Zach's account, A Functioning Gay, go follow them. I repost you all the time
Thank you so
because
much.
you have such a great sense of humor with it. And what about Madonna is it that inspires you to constantly use her in your memes?
I mean, she's everything to me. I mean, she's truly just I mean, she's the person that was kind of the first person that I saw in my life to like, I mean, not to be cliche, but like it encouraged me to express myself,
Mm.
through her music, through her videos. I felt seen when I would watch her music videos and see the flamboyancy of her dancers and things like that. And I just find her so well, I don't even know what the word is. Like she's hysterical, first of all. People don't realize that about her. A lot of people don't understand that she's very funny. And a lot of the
Hmm.
things she says are said with a wink and a nudge. Like she's not being serious.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but she just has so many great moments, whether it's music video clip, whether it's an interview, whether it's an award show performance. Like the source material is just endless. So
Yeah, I think what was it the one that you like you really I think I cackled out loud was when was it? No, I'm trying to think what it was. There's so many things. Like honestly, well, I love when you reuse some of the same movie clips. It's for like you repurpose them for different people, and I
yes,
love like I keep waiting every time somebody else is coming out with a new album. You will always I think you tend to use the Devil Wears Prada, right? Don't you use Devil Wears
I
Prada
do
where
use with
like
Devil Wears Prada. Yep.
where she's
Hmm.
like when Miranda Priestley's showing up early and no one's expecting her and it's like
Oh yes, yes,
oh my
yes,
God she's coming and like
yes.
I love that
She's on
that's
her way. Tell everyone.
yes
100%. Yes, I love using that clip. Um, there's a lot of clips from Truth or Dare that I love to use.
mm-hmm.
Like do something else, do my eyebrows. I've used that several times now. I loved. It's not much of a meme, but I love the part where Moira is like, Madonna, I did not teach you how to insert a tampon. That every time I use that clip, people love that. I love the part where she's like putting the mouth spray for like what feels like an eternity, and then she goes,
Motherfuck.
"Motherfuck!" It's so good. So, oh my god, and I mean, she's just great. I mean, there's actually a part from Truth or Dare where she goes, where it's the scene in Toronto where they're threatening to arrest her. And she's talking to Freddie, and she goes, "So, what's the straight now?" I'm trying to figure out a way to use that as someone who presented that to me the other day. And
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
love that. I love it. What's like as if like no, like
"Yeah,
there's nothing to fix here. Like
what?
this is what it is, you know?
Yeah, what's the straight now?" So yeah, I wanted to use it like me, like every time like a friend of mine wants to like fix things with a toxic relationship, like
Mm-hmm.
what's the straight now? Because that's truly how I feel. I'm like, what's the straight now?
Well, I'm sure you've seen her Nightline interview where she was defending "Justify My Love," and like
Yes.
that. I love that Madonna because she's like because she's smart and but she's giving it back to him. Like she's not like just being like, oh yeah, it's a this video is great. You should watch it. She's just like she goes in on him, and some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that she says on there are really really funny. Like.
It's so good.
No
Yeah.
man, no man made me crawl under that table. I'm chained to my own desires. Like it's some of the things that she says in that you should revisit that.
That I really should, because I was gonna say it's been a minute since I've watched that full interview,
Mhm.
and now maybe that's all I'll do this after this episode.
Or the one that I love is the making of her Take a Bow video.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, the treasure trove of clips from that MTV, the making of Truth or Dare. Sorry, the making of Take a Bow. Watch it. It's
Okay.
that Madonna is fantastic
I can't
Madonna.
wait. I
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
came across some making it behind the scenes of the human nature video that I'd never seen before. They're really low quality,
Yeah.
but she had said some really funny things in those as well. And I was like, oh, I need someone to like, someone needs to unearth the like higher quality footage of this, because
Oh my
this
God.
is
I know.
everything.
I want MTV to like release just the raw footage of all those specials in like high def so we could have them. Like,
I sometimes just go on YouTube and watch like her ultrasound episodes, and I just rewatched her pajama party for the bedtime story premiere.
I love that.
I miss those days. Everything felt like such an event. You
Yeah.
know, when she was releasing an album or a music video, it was an event. People, it was
They don't do promo like that anymore. Now it's just like, here it is.
it's a bunch of little like TikTok, Instagram, which I get. I mean, that's my world that that I'm known for. But at the same time, it's so accessible now, and
Mhm.
everyone's doing it, that it just the the event of it all. It doesn't feel like it's that exciting anymore.
Well, and I will say this, I will compliment you in this way.
Okay.
I feel that people such as yourself
Uh-huh.
with accounts such as A Functioning Gay help amplify some of those rollouts
Well,
because like when you do like you were very excited about Ariana Grande and her new
yes.
single and you help promo that. Like you get people excited because you do little clips and little memes and that
Yeah.
helps amplify that rollout in a way. Like I don't know if the artists appreciate people such as yourself and other accounts who do that type of stuff, but that really makes it fun for
Thank
us.
you. So that is maybe the best compliment I've ever gotten about my account. Thank you. I'm being dead serious. Like, that was very kind. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's fun. It is fun for me. When I say it's not exciting, it's I mean it in the sense of like, I wish it felt like an event
Yeah.
for, because those things do feel like events for me. I wish other people were as excited. I always joke that it's my sport.
Yeah.
Pop
Oh, no,
music is my
totally.
sport.
Like people are always giving me kind of like concerned looks like you've been hosting a Madonna podcast for 6 years. And I'm like,
Mhm.
people have been watching sports for years and years. Like there were people like dying on a hill to do season tickets. I'm like,
Right.
don't give me shame because I'm seeing Madonna 5 times. You bought
Right.
season tickets to a football season,
You're
like
watching people put a ball between a net or
exactly. Like,
something.
well, is it the same show? Well, this tour, yes, it is the same.
Mhm.
It's like a Broadway show. So yes, it's the same set list or whatever. But So, like, people are going into like a football game. It's the same thing that happens every time. Maybe
Same thing.
different plays, but it's the same thing. Hike, you throw the ball. They tackle the person. They try to get it across the line. Then they do the little dance where they like, oh yeah, I got a
Right.
touchdown. It's the same bullshit. Like at
Yeah.
least Madonna, every time she comes back around on tour, is giving us new outfits, new set lists, new arrangements, new choreo. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Every single I completely agree. It's like that's such a strange argument too, because like you watch a movie, it's gonna be the same movie again. You listen to a
right.
song, it's gonna be the same song
I
again.
guess
Like
it's just because people think that you're paying all this money to go see a show. And I'm just like, well, it's
you
fun.
yeah, it is fun and it's art and it's performance. Like it's absolutely. What's interesting is that someone today messaged, and I hate when people like their response to something that you do is like they immediately want to like yuck your yums. I've been saying that a
Uh-huh.
lot today for some reason, but
Yeah. I like that.
um
That's good.
this person I was talking to was like asked me what I did last night. I was like, oh, I went and saw a concert last night. He was like, oh, what did you see? And I said Madonna. And then he like sent me 3 paragraphs of how much he dislikes her. My thing is, I don't care if you don't like her. Why are you going out of your way to tell me what about her caused such a visceral reaction? And it was all
Right.
stuff based on like there was no merit to his opinion. None of it was based on fact. And I was just kind of like, what is it about her that just makes people so like, I
Yeah.
don't know, it was so strange. It
It is
was so
strange.
strange to
She
me.
we talk about that a lot where she just elicits a very strong reaction to people.
Yeah.
And if you're not on board, then the people who aren't on board are like really up in arms about it. It's just like they have to prove that they're right, that Madonna isn't the greatest pop legend that ever existed. It's like they just have to try to prove that. I'm like, calm down. Like,
Right.
calm down. Like you go and do your thing. Fine. Like it's like the same thing that I get. I don't know. I know you've gotten a couple like nasty messages on your Instagram or whatnot. It's like
Yeah.
people send me shit all the time, and I'm just like, just turn it off. Like why are you going through all this, the jumping through the hoops? Like
Yeah.
just go.
Just turn it off. Yeah, I said that I addressed this the other day because I had seen an uptick on a couple of my memes where people were just going on and on about how they think that my opinion's this or that. They're just super negative, and I was just like, you guys realize that you're going out of your way to invest your time in something that you're not enjoying. If you're not enjoying it,
Yeah.
don't interact with it. Like
Yeah.
you're investing all this time that you could be doing something that you do love.
Right.
So it's so
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah,
Like Madonna says, switch the station, change the channel.
exactly.
Yeah.
Justice for
Uh,
Hollywood.
yeah. Well, Zach, I know you're probably a little exhausted and you probably want to get some sleep tonight because you have to get up early in the morning. I remember you saying that.
That's right.
But before you go, there's a little segment we like to call the lightning round. These
Ooh,
questions, the answers are meant to be quick off the top of your head, wherever you're at in your Madonna journey.
okay.
Don't think too hard.
Okay. I'm nervous, but okay.
Favorite Madonna song.
Oh fuck. Oh my god. I famously say that I can't pick a favorite. It would be I can do a top 20, but just for the sake of this, I'm
Off
going
the
to
top of your
say
head, what's the first song that came to your head?
Impressive Instant.
Sweet. Favorite Madonna album.
Ray of Light.
Favorite Madonna music video.
That is a tie between Bedtime Story and Human Nature.
Oh, both from the same album. Very good.
Hmm.
A favorite Madonna tour. Doesn't have to be one you saw.
Oh my gosh. That's like picking children. I do oh fuck. I do love uh that might be a tie between Reinvention and Confessions.
Good. Well, good call. Those are
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Favorite Madonna movie.
Ooh, favorite Madonna movie. I'm Breathless. Or sorry, Dick
Dick
Tracy.
Tracy. You were in the same world.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Favorite Madonna look, and this can be from a video, a tour, a photo shoot.
Oh, for favorite Madonna look.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Favorite Madonna look. That's tough
Yeah,
because
there's so
there
many.
are so many. I'm gonna go ahead and say though, one that I was in more recent years. It's crazy that 2012 was what 12 years ago now. Um, but I'm gonna go with the Vogue look that she wore at the MDNA tour.
Mm-hmm.
The with the like the suit with like the structured corset, like that
Yeah,
was really really sickening. I
that
love.
was hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not one of my usual questions during the lightning round, but since you mentioned remixes, favorite Madonna remix?
Ooh, great question. The all of the remixes on the Ray of Light project are close to my and near and dear to my heart. So I'm gonna go ahead and say right now I've been really digging the Sasha Twilo, is it Twilo or Twilo remix?
Twilo, yeah, yeah,
Remix of Ray of Light, but also Sasha's remix of Sky Fits Heaven.
yeah. So good.
In fact, I've made a playlist of the album and then all my favorite remixes, and I listened to it the entire drive to Detroit, and it was actually kind of the perfect timing. I also love the Vikram remix of Nothing
Oh, it's
Really
so
Matters.
good. It's
It's
so
so
good.
good.
So I love the contrast between the like Club 69, like nothing really, it's like super dance, super up, super friendly. But then the
Mm-hmm.
Vikram remix like slows it down and it's like
Yeah.
all Middle Eastern. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's so good. I
It's
love
so
that.
good, and I love that what's interesting about it is that like you just said, there's a lot of, like, Middle Eastern elements to it. I believe it was produced by Talvin Singh, I
Yes.
think
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
you say
Yeah.
his last
Hmm.
name,
Hmm. Hmm.
and, who blends those worlds of, like, electronic music and, like, world music, and then I love how the entire song, like, the normal structure plays, and then the beat kicks in for the last, like, 3 minutes,
Right.
and it takes you on such a journey. It's such a unique remix. I love that remix so
Yeah.
much.
That's like, yeah, it's a great one. I love because it's so
Mhm.
unexpected for that song. You
Yes.
know, like you expect it to be hands in the air the entire time, and then you get to that, and
Right.
you're like, "Where have we gone?
Yeah.
What door did we open?" You know, like you're in a different portal of some sort. You know?
Right. Yeah. I really wish there is a promo only version of that remix. It's like 13 minutes long. And I was
Wow,
really hoping that we were going to get that on the digital release and we didn't. So, Warner Brothers,
it must be
Rhinos,
out there somewhere. That's got to be out there somewhere.
it's on YouTube, but I'm like, give me the high quality version.
Yeah, I know. We have high hopes for those album re-releases whenever they
Oh,
finally see the light of day.
seriously, that'd be great.
Like I
Yeah.
have a feeling like there's going to be so many where I'm like, "Oh, I really wanted to hear this," or "Oh, I really wanted to hear that," and
Yeah. Yeah.
um
What's your favorite Madonna album?
oh, it changes all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, as soon as you say that, I instantaneously like erotica came to my head.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and I always say, I think erotica mostly because as a Madonna fan that was, you know, from a young age, so the albums were coming out as I was growing up.
Right.
When erotica came out, that was literally the first time a pop artist had an album that sounded like a dance record. You know, like a prayer was dancey for pop, but it wasn't like remixed type of sound.
Mm.
And erotica sounded like just a remix, you know, like the whole album. It was just like, oh, Madonna's in the club. So it sounded, I think that's why I just loved it. You know, like it was, I always want Madonna dance. And
That's fascinating. I never thought, I mean, because I became a fan of Madonna in 1998 when she was releasing Frozen, so I was 12 years old at the time.
mhm,
And then I went retroactively backwards because
sure.
once I become obsessed with something, I like have to know everything about that
And what a
person.
gift you were given.
Yes,
Like finding
truly.
Madonna in 98 and then being able to go back and listen to
I-
all that music whenever you want. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And what was really interesting is I remember watching MTV's, were doing a Madonna-thon, like music video Madonna-thon, is I think what they called it. And I remember watching those videos and it was like leading up to Frozen.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember watching it and all of a sudden the music video for Cherish came on and it unlocked a memory from when I was 4 or 5 years old. I remember my dad calling me into the living room, being like, Zach, look, mermaids are on the TV because I was obsessed with The Little Mermaid at the time.
Oh, how cute.
And I had no idea who that woman
Oh, and there
was.
were some hot mermaids in that
Oh
video.
my God, were they hot? And they were
Little did
flipping
your
their
dad know.
tails.
Little did your dad know.
Oh, I think he knew. I think he knew. And yeah, my dad, very special. He was a very special man. He took me to my first Madonna concert and took me to my first Cher concert.
Oh, what Madonna concert? Which
It was
was that?
John World.
So good.
Yeah.
So
In
good.
Palace of Auburn Hills. So yeah,
Oh, that's
in Michigan.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh,
So yeah, that was really cool. I was like, oh wow. So my love for her actually does stem back very far. I just didn't know it at the time when
yeah.
I was a kid. So
Oh, there you go. How about
yeah.
that? Well, Zach, thanks for being on the show. Tell everyone where they can find you on social.
Yeah, on TikTok and Instagram, you can find me at a functioning gay. And then also you can listen to my podcast Pop Theory that I host with my best friend Jeff. You can listen to that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
What's coming up in your next episode? Are you allowed to say? Or do you like to keep that secret?
Next episode. So we record every Thursday, so we haven't even recorded yet. So usually
Oh,
we
is it
try
going to
to.
be Madonna centric this
It's, you
week?
know what? Yeah, I was gonna say I'll probably do my own recap of Madonna's concert because
You'll have time to digest it. This is helping you
yes.
process, and then you'll have a bit more of an informed opinion.
Exactly. I was going to say I'm still processing. I mean, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet. So I love that we did this because it's like so fresh, you know.
Yeah. Well, and if you'd
Um
like, go. I'm telling you, go on my YouTube because the footage that I shot 4K in DC, it's amazing. Like the clarity
ooh,
is so fucking good. It's so
I
good.
will. I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
so
I
much for
think,
having me.
oh yeah, no, thanks for coming on. And I think we've achieved your goal of dropping enough f bombs to make Madonna on David Letterman very proud.
Perfect. I love that. Excellent.
Yeah. So stay right there. Don't hang up. Just we'll say goodbye to everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye everybody.
Until